Hi everyone, welcome to Waterside Fishing Adventures. My name's Carl. We're off on another adventure. I'm going to head down towards the Lowestoft coast. Not quite sure where I'm going to fish yet. Might go right and go off to Dunwich. Might go left and go off to Yarmouth. Not really sure. I'll make my mind up as I go along. Still knackered from the previous session I've done a couple of days ago. I've done a 14-hour session. Pretty knackered, but we had a cod and 50 plus other fish. So that was good. So I thought we'd go again with the bait I had left over from that session. So I've got a good load of rag, food, lug, some squid, some bluey, and a few bits. So I thought I'd use them up instead of just letting them rot. Makes sense really, doesn't it? So we're off over there to see if we can get a few fish. It's going to be a daytime session this time. Maybe slightly into dark, but not for too long I don't think, because I'll probably run out of bait. We'll have to just see how it goes. Right, I'll bring you back when we come into the town of where we're going to go. Thinking maybe Yarmouth North Beach. But then looking at the tides, Tramps Alley and stuff like that is looking pretty good. Time at the moment is 2:15. High tide is just after 7 down Tramps. It's pretty much a couple of miles down the road from where I fished the other day on Lowestoft North Beach. So that'd be interesting to see if I fish as good or worse, better, whatever. So I'll bring you back in a bit. I'm going to put 2 rods out on worms with small hooks just to bring in wherever we can, because as I said it's a day session, so it's not going to be harder than a night session. And then we'll have the 1 rod with a whole squid out, or a bit of bluey, or a cocktail bait, hopefully to bring in a bass or a cod or a ray or something like that, something bigger. We did get a lot of drop bag bites the other day I weren't hooking up to, which was really annoying. So hopefully if we get any of them today we'll connect and we'll bring in some decent fish. So looking at the weather and stuff, the reports, the tides and all that sort of thing, I'm expecting to get a southwesterly wind, which is great. Couldn't ask for a better wind. And around 15-16 mile an hour winds. A little bit high, but I'd rather be lower, but it's not terrible. Fished in 30 mile an hour, 40 mile an hour winds, which are a lot rougher. So hopefully we'll get sort of 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, and that'll make the filming better. We'll see when we get down there. We'll be fishing the tide up. We should get about 4 hours of the tide up, maybe a couple of hours of the tide down. We'll see how long the bait lasts and what we're catching, what the session goes like. And then with rods, hard to really show you much. Just thought I'd bring you in. Can't get in. I grabbed a few bits just so I've got something to eat while I'm down there. Sandwich, drink, little nibble, bacon and cheese nibbles, and the buttons. Right, so let's get down to our destination, catch some fish. Okay, so we're coming into Corton. Right, so basically this is where you park. It's the only available place that's probably safe to park. You can park across the road in the old Predgewood Hills car park, but I wouldn't advise that. It's in the dark, that's just well out in the middle of nowhere. And I wouldn't say it's very safe to leave anything in your car or even leave your car there. Excuse me, I'm eating my sandwich at the same time. Right, so we'll get the gear out, get loaded up onto the trolley. We've got a 1/4 mile walk down the road to the alley, and that's where we're going to fish, down the bottom of there. Right, we'll get the gear out. Parking spaces obviously okay. You can see the sea. That's good, but we've got to walk right down there, so we'll get on with that. Dead fox sitting here, weren't expecting to see that. Big old thing. Poor thing. Right, so let's do the walk down here, which is about a quarter of a mile. Quite a busy road, but it's all we can do. It's the only way to get there. The car's there, and we're basically walking down the road. That's all we can do. It's not going to take 5 minutes to get to the actual lane. There's a lot of traffic, but there's nothing I can do about it. People are not too impressed as they're coming past, but what do you do? Anyway, I'll bring you back when we get to the lane. So that's the car park over there, like I said about the old Pleasurewood Hills one, but as I say, that goes down into like a woody area. And at midnight, or near through the night, your car's not going to be too safe in the dark, I wouldn't have thought. People are loving me up and down the hill. There we go, nothing we can do about it. Right, so we're coming up to the alley. Okay, so it's just a concrete structure by lots of things, or old tarmacy, concrete, stony road. Either way, it's looking like the trolley should go through here. Just. Is it going to scrape? Yep, it's going to scrape slightly. Let's just push them down. Oh, look at that. I loaded that to go through there, didn't I? Bit of luck, wasn't it? It's looking a bit steep in front of me, but I can see the sea. The rabbits all running off up that way. Gunton Warren or something this is called. Oh, hey, look at the sea. Lovely. Not expecting too many people to be here, to be honest. There's not many cars about. Oh, going down here is going to be fun. I'm going to have to turn you off, I reckon. Because it's a big old steep hill and I'm going to have to hold my rods back, my trolley back, to get my gear down. The sea's looking like it's got a bit of a roll in it, but fairly calm. Let's have a push against the trolley. Oh, hang on, I can push up against it. Not too bad, I can keep you going. Other people coming up and down the lane, so they ain't going to want to be filmed. Yeah, I'm going to have to put you down for a second. I'll bring you back in a minute. Well, I've just had about a half an hour chat with a chap called Ken. He was looking for someone to fish with at night because he didn't feel safe down here on his own. So we've got a new subscriber and someone actually wants to fish with the group. So that's great. Well, seems like everyone wanted to talk to me today. You can see in the background there's another couple. They stopped and they wanted to talk to me as well. So I've probably been down here over half an hour already and haven't even got to the beach yet. I've been walking along the concrete wall, I suppose you call this. Not really sure. I'm going to walk to the end of it and then one going up and I'm going to set up there. It's the only swim, well, not really swims are they, but it's the only bit I can see that's got a nice big gap between the groins, up and straight down, which I don't want to fish. So we'll see how we get on, and hopefully I'll get set up and we'll get a few fish. From what I can see, I'm actually the only one down here, which is unbelievable. Brilliant. It's brilliant to be the only one down here because obviously I get to pick where I want to fish completely on my own. So I think what I'm going to do, I might either go down here or do I walk that way slightly? No, I think I'm actually going to go here. Am I? I don't know. Not sure what to do. No, I'm going to go into the first bay there. Call it a bay in between the wooden piers. There'll be plenty of room in there. No chance of getting hooked up around the wood or anything like that. Nice beach anyway. Not much of a wind as you can probably hear. I'm covering it with my hand anyway, but it's pretty good. It's not raining, so I'll get over to the spot, get set up, and I'll come back to you in a bit once we're starting to fish. Okay, so we're down on the beach. The little setup's up. We've got a slight wind up from behind the shelter, basically. Nothing too major. Baiting stuff and all that stuff is all in there, all ready for us to sit in there. I'm there getting the first rod set up. Stands are here. The sea state's lovely. Hardly a roll on the sea. Expecting to get maybe flatties and whiting. We'll keep trying whatever we do. So first rig is this one here. Courtroom stand. Seen us daytime, I can actually show you for a change. We've got a bomb on the bottom, little flapper, we've got another one tied off just above the bomb, and another one up the top here. They're all tiny little hooks, little size 1 hooks, and we're aiming for flatfish off them. So I'll put this one out, and we'll get the other two set up. Right, so let's get this one out. We'll just tap it out sort of midway, what I call midway, 50-60 yards. Around the tip, don't want to be doing that, snapping off on the first cast. Right, let's get this rig out. So that one's out. So we're setting up the other two rods. A bit of luck. I still can't believe I'm the only one on the beach. Plenty of dog walkers and people like that. People are really friendly around here. They like to stop and have a good old chat. Tell you about the beach and the area. And they got holiday homes up the top there, and some of them have moved here from London and all that sort of stuff. But it's nice to have a chat with some people. Especially some of the elderly people that mostly mates of the day. Getting out and having a little chat with a few people, that's nice, so I don't mind helping with that. I'm picking up a few subscribers at the same time, and I just had a person go past a little while ago saying that they fish here all the time, saying he recognised me from my videos. So again, I've done it again, so that's great. That's 3 times now I think I've been recognised, so I'm getting popular. That's good news. I'm glad that people are liking what I'm doing and stuff like that. Right, so I'm going to set these other rods up now. I'm going to put a whole squid bait out, or half a squid, something like that. Go for something a bit bigger, like a ray or a bass or codlin, something like that. Conditions are not really looking good for the big bass or a codlin, but maybe a ray if we're lucky. Let's just see how it goes. Right, I'll get the other two set up. I'll bring you back, show you the rigs and the baits, and we'll put the next one out. So, second rod set up. We've got a pulley dropper rig on this one. A squid. On a pennel, don't need the paper. Like that. So the camera's in 5.0 on the bottom. And the camera's in uptider on the top. All we'll do is put that out there like that. Get the old elastic. And just elastic it on so it stays on there a bit longer. I don't like to mummify it, but I like it to be tight enough for it to stay on for a bit longer than without putting any on, but not too tight, not too much. So something like that is ideal for me. Hopefully we'll pick up something a bit bigger on this rod. We'll have a good go anyway. Right, so I'll go and drop this one out. So this rod will be the closest rod to me. So I'll walk down straight in front of us, plonk that out, and see how we get on. So we're all clipped up, ready to go. Well, it seems like we've got a hell of a tide run out there to the right. They're not holding bottom very well. They're getting dragged across. Might have to up the weights on them. Because I would have thought I'd held bottom quite easily. Okay, so one more rod to set up. And we'll be sitting there ready to fish, and I'll show you the rods and everything properly. Okay, so that's the last rig made up. So the rig body is this, it's a Cromer, 70 pound. It's a very long rig body. And then I've got Shimano Aero Surf is the hook length, which is a very fine 0.31 low diameter line. And then Cox and Roll size 2 hooks. So I'll show you what that looks like. 6 ounce weight on the bottom. Hooking myself now on the leg. Sharp hooks. Then I've got a knot either side there with a swivel in the middle. Yes, the knots always hold up. I've never had a knot break. Or anyone say, well, am I not using crimps or anything? These are my flatfish rigs, don't forget. Small fish rigs. But I have had much bigger fish on them as well, and always land them, never been a problem. So pretty much goes like that. And then obviously your normal getting tangled up here because I've got it all laying here where I've made it up. Quite a long hook length on the bottom one. Size 2 Cox and Roll hooks. We'll stay right now. Yummy. And then I've got another one in the middle. You get the idea, same sort of thing. Quite a long. Trying to do this all in a tent, I'm just making it hard work. Try really long. Down to size 2 again, and then the same again at the top. So it's quite a long trace, so it's only going to be used close in. Tapped out, and then the top one is quite a short trace. But they're all got the same thing. Got the swivel, 2 knots. They can just slightly move, just slightly for enough to grab it, and then hook ourselves. And I've used this rig for many years, and that always seems to work. That works well for getting the smaller fish to hook ourselves and get further on the bank. So I'll get this rig baited up. I'm going to put ragworm on this one, little sections of ragworm, so you can see me. Yeah, little sections of ragworm, and then we'll get this one out and we'll start fishing with all 3 rods. I've already noticed, like I say, the tide is really pulling to the right, so I'm going to have to walk up the tide slightly and cast that way so they end up in front of me. I think there's already a bit of weed on one of my lines, so that's not very good, but we'll see. Once we reel in, get rebaited, have a few casts and see what happens. Still no one else on the beach, apart from dog walkers. I'll spin you around and show you what I'm looking at down the sea down there. It's looking like it's getting pretty dark. I think I'm going to get some rain in a bit. So I'm going to get this rod baited up and get it out so I can hide in here if I need to once it's out. Okay, so I'll get this one baited up and get it out. Okay, so after a lot of chatting to people on the way down here, we finally got down on the sand and we got all the rigs made up and all 3 rods are out. Closest rod to me has got a whole squid on it, tapped out 50-60 yards. Second rod's got 3 lug on it, probably 70-80 yards. And then the end rod's got 3 bits of rag on it, literally 20 yards in front of us, just tapped out. So we'll see what these produce. Hopefully we'll get a few fish. Not looking forward to whatever's coming down there. I think the rain's coming along the coast, but there we go. We'll give all these rods 10-15 minutes and we'll have a rebait, see if the bait's staying on or see if we're getting weed or see whatever's happening. Hopefully we'll have a fish on one of them and we'll go from there. As I probably said earlier on, this is a session to use up the bait from the 14-hour session I done a few days ago. So I've only got a limited amount of bait, but I've still got a fair bit. I'll spin you around and show you that. So we've got a fair good old lump of ragworm, which I'm cutting up into 2s and 3s. Got some leftover lug, which is a bit yucky and sticky, but normally good for flatfish. We've got 2 bags of squid, some bluey, some more squid, and whatever's in here. Can't remember what's in there, to be honest. Probably some more worms. So we've got plenty of bait to keep us going for a bit. It's nowhere near dark, so it's only coming up to 5 o'clock. It took us a fair old while to get here and get set up, but then we've been on the beach for about an hour talking to people. So the wind's not too bad. Hopefully it's not showing on camera too much either. So we're just gonna have to watch the rods now for a bit. Well, I will. And then hopefully I'll get a bite reel in and we'll start catching a few fish. The old shelter's all set up. Got my boots down here just in case. Got me suit and jacket, my trousers are over there because they're still slightly damp from the other night, so I'm trying to dry them out. So I might put my suit on if I need it. I've got my tillies down here just in case I want to stay after dark. And there's a can of petrol somewhere as well, hiding away somewhere. Oh, down behind here, so we've got a can of petrol to fill them up. So yeah, we've got everything we need. Got an extra jumper in there if we need it. I don't think we will. So yeah, we've got everything. Tackle, all that sort of stuff, a little bit of food. So let's try and catch some fish now. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's watch these rods. Like I've got a couple of chaps joining me down here now, just going down there. Hopefully they're going to catch again. Is the bay where I was going to go. Maybe they know something different to me, or maybe they want to go here and I'm in their spot. Either way, hopefully we'll all get a few fish, because that's what we're all come for. Nice to be on the beach, but also nice to catch a few fish. So I'm all suited up. All 3 rods are out. We're fishing. Now we've got to catch some fish. As you saw, I've got a couple rounders to the right of me now. So I hope I'm not in a snaggy bit. Hopefully I've just took where they wanted to go and I'm not in the snags. I'm about to reel in the first cast and see what we got. Well, I just reeled in the first rod, the one that had the little lug on it, and it was all snagged up with weed, but it's also little pout on there, so it's doing its job picking up the small fish. And there was also a small whiting on there as well, so that's a good start. We've had 2 fish in the first cast. These rods are for picking up the small fish anyway, just to make it fun. We'll wait for a bigger one, but quite happy to catch a couple of them on the small lug baits. Hopefully we'll carry on doing so. Hopefully they'll get a bit bigger. And as the tide comes up, we'll get a few more fish. But 2's a good start on the first cast on 1 rod. So I'll get this rebated, get it out, bring in the other rods and see what we got. But yeah, good start. So that was a good start. A couple of fish on the first cast. Chaps further down there. Pretty much set up now. Still got dog walk with the boat, as you can see. So I'm about to bring in the other 2 rods now. See what the bait situation is on them. Snaggy and weedy out here. Maybe I should have gone to a different bay. Not gonna know, but I'll carry on for now and see how we get on. Getting a bit dark down the end there, but we're missing it at the moment. Also, just brought in the whole squid rod, and unbelievably, bloody whiting took a whole squid. But it's another fish, so I can't complain. But I'd much rather got a bigger fish on there. Hooked itself in the eye, this one. There's not really much I could do about it, but it will come out. Whiting on a 5.0. I purposely put them on so I didn't get too many of them. But it seems like it's still going to take it. How big do you have to go before you don't hook one? I don't know. But a little bit left of my squid, but not a great deal. Might go again. Don't know if I like doing that much, that's the trouble. I like to put a fresh one on for more scent and stuff, but it's still daytime at the moment, so I think I will just whip that one back out while I get another one ready. Okay, so I'll be back on the next rod. Hopefully we've got a fish on every rod to start with. It would be great. So that was good. Fish on both the 2 rods I've brought in so far. Still one more to go. I'm going to leave it a bit longer. The bait seems to be coming in on some of the hooks. Still fresh. I'm going to speed it around, let you have a look at the sea state and stuff like that. Well, that's not bad. We got a few fish on the first 2 rods that we brought in. Give you a little look at the sea state now, shall I? Nothing to worry about, quite nice. Fairly flat calm with a few rolling waves. Lovely really, couldn't ask for a much better evening. Just hope that the whiting don't just keep taking the whole squid baits and the bluey baits. Because we want to try and catch something a bit bigger on them and catch the smaller fish on the little worm baits. I think right down at Galston, if you look right down the end there, you can see a couple of chaps that have just turned up and they're starting to fish. And then you got the people behind us who we said about. They got their rods out now. So yes, we're getting settled down. We've had a first cast and they're going to bring the last rod in that was the first cast. Hopefully that's got a fish on too. And we'll start catching a few. Well, we've done that again, 2 fish. Can't believe that. I thought this big old whiting, and that is a big whiting. Right, calm down buddy. Look at the size of that. Thought it was a codling coming in. There was also a little pouting on there, and a bit of weed. But the rigs are doing their jobs. That's what matters. So yeah, brilliant. We've had a cast on each rod. We've had a fish on each rod. Oh, this just took the hook well in. It's going to be fun to take off. Fish on these little, oh no, little fine wire hooks. Look at the size of that. That is one. You're actually getting, look at the width of it. It's a massive crab thing for a whiting. Let's get the length of it as well, I think. It's fairly long, but it's more the body chunk I'm impressed with. So it is 35 centimetres, which is pretty chunky, isn't it? That's just a chunk on us. For a whiting, that is a huge fish. I thought it was a codling coming in. Oh, that's a good start. That's exactly what we want. there's for the little pout. Well, it's exactly what we expect on the little hooks and stuff, isn't it? Little pout. Right, so I'll get this rod baited up again, put it back out, and we'll carry on catching. So what a great start, fish on every rod. Can't complain at that. Lovely. Getting a few spits of rain at the moment, that's a bit of a pain, but we can deal with that. Not too worried about it, we're expecting that. So, that whiting, what a clonk and whiting. Easy £1.5, £1.75 maybe. Could even be getting on £2, but that was a big whiting. I'd say £1.75 I reckon. Very chunky fish, not so long enough, but not as long as they can get. But what a huge fish. So we've had fish on every single rod, and we've only had one cast. Sounds good to me. Prefer the whole squid rod to bring in a big fish, or a big, you know, a bigger fish. You think they're big white, and be taking them whole squid, wouldn't you? Not little tiny rag baits and stuff, because that's what most of them come on. So, got that lovely cedar fish. Chap next door's now putting the fish back, probably a whiting. Yeah, so they're catching as well. That's good news. Nice to see people catching. It's starting to get dark in the distance now, so we'll be setting up a Tilly's fairly soon. So I just filled my lamps up with fuel on my special little funnel, so they're ready for after dark. That's what we plan on doing. About an hour it should probably be dark. Rods are still out where they were. I've seen a few taps on the smaller bait rods, the little worm rods, so I'm sure we've got a few fish on them hopefully. We normally hook ourselves on them because them little hooks are really sharp, so if you get a bite then pretty much hook yourself. Haven't seen the big rod go yet, but you never know. Right, I'll be reeling in soon to rebait. We're getting a bit of rain at the moment, so that's a bit of a pain, but nothing to worry about. It's only a few spits, drizzle, you know what I mean. Right, bring you back soon. Don't know if you can tell, but it's looking a bit rough going Galston way. It's a few miles from here, but you can see lightning going across, and it looked like it's raining then that way, so hopefully it's not coming this way. It's going across and we're missing it. A bit of luck. Still getting the odd little tap on most rods, but I'm leaving, so they're just running in one at a time. Still got the drizzle of the rain, but nothing to worry about. Bit zoomed in. Just make it feel like you're on a boat. Whee! Oh, we're on the boat. Whee! Yeah, just messing around. The sea's still nice, as you can see. We're all ready for darkness. We're just waiting for darkness now. But you seem to be catching fish during the daylight anyway, which is great. hopefully carry on doing so. We'll hopefully get some more fish after dark as well. Never know, might throw up a codling. I've had a couple over the last couple of weeks. One off Lowestoft Pier and one down Lowestoft North Beach. One was on big bait of lug, typical squid, and the other one was just a load of lug squashed up on an upper line, tied up sort of thing. So they seem to like their lug baits at the moment. I haven't got much of that today, so I'm just going to have to be using what I've got, and we'll catch what we can. There's no reason why half decent codling shouldn't take a whole squid. I've had them on it before. Same as the bass and the rays. So we'll keep putting them out. We'll try a bluey as well. Bits of bluey. Never know, might get a ray with the calmer conditions, but the tide runs quite rough, to be honest. Weren't expecting that. But then I've never fished here before, so I've got to work it out. Looking like that's quite deep, just right down the front of us. So you don't really need to cast far here, I don't think. I've dropped one in short and I've had one out midway, and I've had fish on both. Did find out a distance. Got a load of weed. I've had a bit of weed on pretty much all 3 rods. It was a bit of a pain, but I came off easy enough. Nothing to worry about. Right, let's carry on, see if we can get a bite. And bring in another fish. Okay, so we just brought that rod in. Another whiting. And another whiting. So it's pretty much doing its job, picking up the smaller fish. The little hooks on. Thought we'd get a few flatties, but we ain't been here long yet, so we'll see. Top hook's bringing in some, well, it's not really, this is a knot. It's picking up a bit of weed, but it falls off as easy as that, so nothing to worry about. Right, so we'll get these fish back. Nothing massive this time, but much bigger than the pin white that we normally get. So I'm happy to catch them. Right, put these back and get this rebaited. Well, can't complain. Every rod's getting bites and fish are coming in. Okay, so I keep getting knocks on the end rod, so I'm going to bring it in. Hopefully we've got a fish. Well, can't ask for any more than that. Fish on each hook. Can't do any better. If I had 5 hooks, I'd probably have 5 fish, not 3. So, they're all little pout. Say little, they're not exactly terrible. I've had much smaller. This one's fairly small. Smallest one of the lot. But yeah, at least we're still getting fish. That's what it's all about. On these rods anyway. I'd love to see this big rod go flying over and we get a big fish. Saying that, we've got a knock on it. Better investigate that in a minute. Let's get these fish off and get them back first. So as you can see, we're getting a few fish. And that's what Hook Channel's all about. I like to catch fish, but I also like to show other people how to catch fish. So many times when I go fishing somewhere and there's people either side of me and they're just not catching nothing. They come over to you and they say, well, how are you catching all them fish? What are you doing different to us? That's the whole reason I make my videos, to help people catch more fish, bring the younger people into the sport and keep them there, keep them excited about catching, not going out, not catching nothing and never coming back to the sport. We want more people to keep doing this, keep things going. I'm just trying to watch the rods at the same time because I'm getting bites on the worm rods already. Well, it's getting dark now anyway. It's getting close. I'll be putting the lamps on in a minute. Down Galston Way, look like it's absolutely hammering down. Keep seeing flashes of lightning across the sea. But it's quite nice here. Got hardly any wind whatsoever. Got an angler just a bit further down the beach and 2 people behind me as far as I can see. There's probably more people around. So we're doing okay. We've had a couple of casts, we've had quite a few fish already. I think we've had 9 now, something like that, maybe 10. So that's not bad going for an hour's fishing. So let's carry on. I'm going to bring in the big bait rod in a minute and put a squid and bluey cocktail on it. Get that back out, see if we can get something a bit bigger. And carry on fishing with the other 2 rods and bringing in some more fish. I'd expect to get a few flatties after dark on them rods, especially on the old lug. That's a good tip with the old lug. If you've got a lug that's 2 or 3 days old, and fish love that. So if you do a session, you've got some left over, leave it for a few days and then go again and try it, and you'll be amazed how well it does. Okay, I'm going to bring in this big rod, as I said, get it rebaited up with a bluey and squid and try for something a bit bigger. So nothing on the whole squid rod that time, so I've rebaited it up. We've got another whole squid going out. We will keep trying on that rod until we get something. At some point, caught on them before, had codling on them before, had bass on them. So we'll keep trying. Well, it's 6:30, I've just got the tilly out and running. Can't do the other one because I've got the starter jammed in the first one. I don't want to break it because I need 1 lamp at least, don't I? Just see what the problem is, but I'll fix that when I get home, not on the beach here, because I might be without a lamp if not. Shouldn't no good. I've got 4 or 5 of these at home. Which I can sort out and get going. So I've still got the rods out. Got another squid on the big bait rod, which I'll put a bit further out this time, probably 50-60 yards. The 2 worm rods are still sitting out there with 3 lug on one and 3 rag on the other, and they both got bites, so I'm guessing there's fish on them. Well, I'll let them fill up so I can bring in 3 at a time, hopefully. It's the plan anyway, but we'll see. State of the sea's still good. Coming up to high tide in about half an hour, I think. So it's getting up there now. Should also be dark in half an hour as well, so we'll see what that brings. We're already catching, so can't complain, but it'll be nice to see the big rod go off and a codlin or something like that come in, or anything, you know, large. So that's what we're trying to do. Getting a few little gusts of wind, but it's not cold, it's not wet at the moment. And we're bringing in fish, so really that's all that matters. We've still got plenty of bait, plenty of lug, rag. Keeps going for the next 2 hours at least. See what we can catch. Chaps behind me are still there. It's weird how it looks so light in the camera. It's pretty much dark. Probably here we're picking up a bit of wind now, but it's not terrible. I had a lot worse. So, got some dog walkers coming down towards me. Far in the distance. Hard to zoom in on them. And then there's a chap fishing right down the end there. He's setting up and you just see his light going up and down. He's obviously reeling in and stuff. So we'll see what happens. As I say, the wind's picking up a bit, so the weather's getting a bit rougher. Hopefully we're not going to get wet. It is spitting with rain, but not pouring with rain, which is nothing really. Better with that. So we'll see what we get in the next few casts. Next time I come back should be dark, and hopefully I'll have a fish to show you as well. Oh, I just had another elderly couple stop and have a chat with me. But yeah, nearly dark now. I'm about to have a reel in on some of the other rods. I've got a bite on the large squid rod, but it's only a tap. That's not really a thumping bite, so hopefully that's not a white. Hopefully that's a ray or something chewing up the bait. And we'll get a drop back, but if it is a little whiting on there, maybe something will take it with the squid bait on there as well. So either way, hopefully we'll get a fish. Prefer to get a bigger one. We should be getting the little fish on the other rods. Right, I'll be having a reel in soon. See what we get. Right, so this will probably be the last time you better see me reeling in before it's too dark for me to film out there. So what I'll do is I'll go down, reel this one in, see what we get. Stuck in a bit of a snag or weeded up to start with, but now I've got it free and I've got a couple of chunky white. Just quickly get them unhooked and I'll show you what we got. We're definitely still getting fish every cast. Great. Somehow I forgot my headlamp, even though I've got about 5. So I'll have to be showing you with the lamp, but I think you'll get the idea. It's not massive, but not teeny either. There we go. 2 more white. Right, let's get these 2 back, get rebaited up and get this rod back out again. Hopefully one of these will be a Corton too. So rain's setting a bit, so I'm just sitting out of it for a little bit. Give it 10 minutes to go over, hopefully. But we're still getting bites. The rod I just put back out after the 2 white and it's thumping away like mad, so it's obviously got fish on again. They seem to be coming at any distance. I can whack it right out and get them. I can get them close in. I can get them medium range. Trouble with going too far out at the moment is I'm picking up weed. And there's some sort of snag out there as well. I'm managing to get through it, but it's a bit of a pain. I don't want to drop a good fish coming through it, so I'm dropping them a bit shorter. I just put a blue tip on the rod I'll just put back out, and I'll put the tips on the other rods as I bring them in. I just thought I'd stay out of the rain for a minute, and then go back out again, hopefully once it's passed. Hopefully it's not going to stay, but we never know, do we? Put another rod in, 1/2 decent pound, a small pout and a small white. 3 more fish, so that's the one with the beads and swivels coming off with the knots tied. It's doing its job. Spam around a couple of times on some of these, so I've got to sort that out, but that's not a problem. Pout will always seem to do that. So, not bad at all. We'll get these back in the water and we'll catch some more. Well, just brought in the whole squid rod. Had a clonk and bite, expecting a Corton coming in. Felt really good all the way in. That turned out to be this bloody great whiting. Look at that. Don't know what's going on tonight, but there's some big old whiting out there. Must be, I don't know, easy pan. Look at the width of it. Massive great belly on it. Body. Gotta be pound and a half. Don't know how well. Easy pound and a half, getting on 2 pound fish. Getting absolutely loads of bites on the little rods as well, as you'd expect. Try and show you this fish again. Look at the size of that. You would think that was a codlin, wouldn't you? There's a big old belly in it on it. I mean, look, you compare that to my hand. It's a big fish for a white. So, nearly 7:15 now. I can't believe how big these whiting are coming in. They're weighing between 1.5 and 1.75 pound. I mean, that's the size of the codlin I'm being getting. They're big fish, they're big chunky fish. I had one 35 centimetre, one 37 centimetre. And yeah, they're big white, but then one catching them. I've just put the squid rod back out again, and I've got a bite on both the other 2 rods, so things are looking up. Yeah, we just got to try and wangle out a 3, 4, 5 pound fish. Would be nice as well. One of these other fish. I'll spin you around. I've got all my rods set up now with their tips on. And they're all fishing. Tonight we've got a red, a blue and a yellow. I always swap up these colours. I've got greens, blues, yellows, and then sort of colours in between that ain't quite as dominant as these colours. I just grab whatever first come in my hand, to be honest. The more expensive ones seem to work a lot better. So they all do the job. Okay, the chap's next to us. I've seen them reeling a couple of times with their head torches on. I can see fish hanging. Can't really show you. It's too dark. But yeah, we're doing okay. I think I'm still knackered from the other night because I feel like I've been here 6-7 hours already, and I've only actually been here 2 or 3 hours at the most, not even that. Someone's got fireworks going off somewhere. Can't see them, I can hear them. They're over there somewhere. You can probably hear them too. So right, let's get back on with this fishing. See them a bit better if I come out here. I'm not sure what the wind's like, it's a bit windy. It's only a small window, it's only like 10 mile an hour at the most. The blue tip and the yellow tip rods are banging away, so there's fish on them. So I hope we can wangle out a codlin or something like that now. It's got dark and it's roughened up a little bit. Tide's been and gone now, so the tide's, well, it's actually turning, to be honest. So it'll be on its way down. So hopefully we'll get a few more fish. We've still got plenty of bait. Lots of rag left still. It just seems to be lasting forever. I don't know what's going on with this. I think that's because I'm chopping them into frees, so I'm getting 3 hook baits out of 1 worm basically at the moment. The squid are on there going down. I'm going to put some bluey on soon. The lamp's doing its job again, making everywhere feel nice and cosy. I always like it when it's like that. A cosy little place to be. And you got your rods out here. Great. Well, I know for a fact that these M2 rods have got fish on because they're both bouncing around like mad. So better reel some more in case we've got a codlin or a bass. So we're in again. More really big whiting. Look at them. Don't know where these are all coming from. Not many get around this sort of chunky bodies like them. Look at the width of them. And then a little pout down the bottom, which isn't so little itself, to be honest, but it's not massive. But then big whiting. I keep thinking I've got a codlin on when I keep bringing them in, but at least we're catching fish every cast. Literally every cast, 3 at a time on these little rods. Most casts, so that's great. So let's carry on and see what we get. Well, just brought in another rod. Had that, which is just your average size whiting. Not bad there. And that, which is your average size whiting again, probably a bit bigger than your average. And then again, for this big old donkey, was a cod. Can't even get it in the frame. Look at the size of that. I don't know where the hell these whiting come from, but they're big. Look, I mean the bellies on them are hard to show, but that's what a £2 codlin normally look like. They're just absolutely huge fish. Just going to measure. Oh, 39 centimetres. That's not bad going, is it? That's a big whiting. I take it these are channel whiting or something like that. They're big, and I don't mind catching these. They give the rod a good old bend, especially when you've got 2 others on there as well. Right, so let's get this piece back and get some more fish. We must have well over 20 now. I would have thought. Both my other rods are going. It's the trouble, I'm not getting 5 minutes to sit down and my rods are going as soon as I put them in the water. So I don't mind when they're big fish. I don't mind getting a few little fish, but these whiting are crazy. Right, I'm going to get this rig baited back up and back out in the water, put these fish back. I'll see you again soon. Well, it's unbelievable. I can't sit down for 2 seconds. Every single rod is just going. I'm even catching on a whole squid. Shame they're not big, huge fish, but these whiting are massive. I'm not complaining about bringing in whiting at a 1.5 pound, 1 3/4 pound. I feel like bringing a codlin in. When you've got 2 others on there as well, sort of average size or even larger than average, I feel like a hell of a fish thumping around. It's good fun, but hard work. I've already got backache. We've already had loads of fish, haven't we? People next door to me are doing exactly the same. I can see them going up and down the beach, putting fish back, getting a few fish, so that's all good. Everyone's catching. Well, oh, my back's killing. Still got a fair bit of bait left, so I'm going to keep going for a while yet. It must be around 7:45 now. And tide's obviously on its way down now and pulling the other way. But as I said, we're getting loads of bites, we're getting loads of fish. I'm bringing most of them to camera, including these big donkey white. Right, so I'm going to bring in the next rod because they're all bouncing around like someone's pulling the end of them. So I take it they've got fish on again. And in between all these fish that we keep getting, hopefully we'll have a codlin. Never know. Or something, you know, a ray or something different. Keep trying anyway. Right, see you soon. I just had a clonk and bite on the whole squid rod, but no, nothing connected. Don't know what happened there. That was a right old thump of a bite. Slack lined me, but didn't get it. I'm guessing that was a codlin or a much bigger fish. Just didn't connect. So I've wrapped up another big squid, whacked that out there, and hopefully we'll get another bite. And whatever's out there taking that bait. The other 2 rods are still bouncing away all the time. I'm about to bring some in, so we'll see what we get on them as well. Time is ticking along slowly. Not getting 2 minutes to sit down. I'm literally just bringing in a rod at a time, switching around, next rod, you know, rebaiting. By the time I've done that, there's fish on the rod again. So it's pretty hectic fishing, but I ain't down here to sit around and watch the stars. I want to catch a few fish. I know some people don't like catching whiting, but I love to just catch any old fish. It doesn't bother me, I just like fishing. That's what it's all about, just bringing in some fish. Obviously I like to bring in some big ones as well, and hopefully I will. I already have really. Them whiting are huge compared to what most people catch around here. I mean, you can go to the Bristol Channel or something like that and still only get whiting like that. So I'm well chuffed with them. You never know, we might get some more of them, but we can get some cod a little bit bigger than that, or even some 3-4 pounders. That'd be really nice. But we'll keep trying, hit some of these bites and see what we bring in. Weather's still good, still got that drizzle in the air, so slightly damp, but nothing to worry about. Winds under 10 mile an hour, so hardly nothing. There's still people next to me to the left, and there's some people to the right as well, and further down. I think there's some people down on the North Beach, right down the far car park where we went in our last session. It's a long way to see from here, so I can't really tell. So I'll bring in some more rods soon and see what we get. Well, 3 more whiting on this rod. 1 normal size and a couple of decent sized ones again. Alright, I'll get them back. I've got tangled up my other rods, I've got to sort that out too. Well, it's 8:30 now, so I just had another reel in on one of the rods. Another half decent chunky whiting, and then a normal size whiting. So 2 more fish. Getting knack and keep reeling these rods in every 10 minutes. We just put that blue one back out and there's fish on it already. Still can't seem to get anything on the whole squid rod, but we'll keep putting it out. Hopefully something big will take it at some point. Oh, the rain's come down a bit heavier now. It's a bit more of a drizzle, or more than drizzle. It's enough to make you wet now, so I'm popping into the tent for 10 minutes. But I've got a bite on the orange tip and the blue tip rod already. They've both only been out less than 5 minutes. Got one close in, I mean 20-30 yards. Got another one sort of mid-range, 50-60 yards. And we've got the squid, the whole squid sitting out there 70-80 yards maybe. Can't believe I missed that really good bite a little while ago. It was an absolute thump. But there was nothing there, so not much I could do. God, the blue rod's absolutely thumping up and down. I'll spin you around, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. It's hard to show you, and I don't really want to go out there in the rain right now. It's a bit too heavy for me to be taking the camera out there. Shame they don't show up out on that them tips in the dark, but not really much we can do. Maybe I should wipe the lens and see what that does. This has probably got wet at some point. Bear with me. No, they don't really make a difference. They're just really hard to focus on. They're just little dots in the sky, really, aren't they? You can probably hear the rain coming down on the shelter. The tilly's still going nicely. Still got loads of rag. I don't know what's going on with this rag. It just seems to be lasting forever. Right, I'm going to hide in here just for 10 minutes. God, the blue rod's absolutely banging up and down. There's a fish on there, I would say. We want to see the squid rod get dragged off, don't we? Something big take it. It's still nice to be bringing in a few fish anyway. Right, I'm going to hide up for 5 minutes. Watch these bites bang away on the rods. And hopefully this rain will pass over. And I'll reel in again. Unless the big squid rod goes off, and then I'll be flying out there and striking it. Well, just had another reel in. Here we go. 2 big old chunky whiting and an average size one. Still plenty of fish out there. That was not looking too good. Still madness. As soon as they're in the water 2 or 3 minutes, the fish are on. So the squid baits don't seem to be doing a lot, so I'll put a massive ragworm bait on that rod. see. Bottom hook and the panel at the top. I'm going to whack that out and see if we can get something big on that. Gotta keep trying up things. Worms are getting lower now. Still got a handful of bait here. Still got a fair few casts yet. We've still got some squid and a bluey left, I think. So we've got a couple more hours fishing at least yet. See how we get on. Hopefully let's get some more fish. 2 more fish come in on that rod. Still getting bite every cast. Got a bit smaller than them ones we had earlier, but we're still getting fish. Still holding out for a bigger one, hopefully. We'll keep bringing them in. Weather's lovely, wind's pretty much calmed right down. Nice night to be on the beach, stop raining. Hopefully it'll stay like this for the rest of my trip. So all 3 rods have had a rebait now. Still getting whiting on every cast, apart from the big squid rod. I've now just put a really big ragworm bait on it because there's massive ragworm in there, so I'll put 2 of them on and whack that out basically. It's just sitting there pretty still at the moment. The other 2 have got ragworm on too, on both rods, so 6 hooks basically. We'll see what they do. The lugworm I've got is getting a bit rough now. I'll show you if I'd spin you around. So yeah, it's not really. There's a few bits there still, but it's all sticky. Bits and pieces that I'm just having to dig out. There's not much left of it now. Enough for just a few more casts. It's mainly the rag. Still enough there for another 3 or 4 casts. So we're still going at the moment. Still got 1 bag of squid. The other ones are gone. And rods are still out, so rain didn't hold off for long, so it's drizzling again now. But I'm not getting soaked, just slightly wet, nothing to worry about. As I've said in previous, you can't worry about the weather. If you're going to go, you just got to go and fish the tide the best you can basically. So the tide here now is 2 hours down. It is 9:30. I've still got someone to my left and someone to my right, and there's still people much further down as well. So I hope everyone's catching. I'll keep watching these rods. And we're trying to pull in a codman really at the moment, or a ray or a bass or something like that, something a bit bigger. We know we're going to keep catching white and pouting, flatfish, that sort of thing, on the little hook rods. So we're going to catch more fish, which we know about, obviously, because that's the plan and that's how they're set up. And we know that works, as you've seen in previous videos and in this video. So when you think if we didn't have them rods out, we'd probably only have 2 whiting. We'd have missed out on them really big ones, and we'd have just been sitting there on just sitting there staring at rods, which is okay sometimes. I don't mind doing that now and again. We're just targeting big fish, but I'd rather go out, go fishing and pull in some fish, whatever size they are. And quite often or not, on these little teeny hooks and teeny baits rods, that'll bring in the big fish. So you got to try it. Right, so I'll carry on watching these. I'll have a reel in again in about sort of 10-15 minutes. See what we got. I know the middle blue rod's definitely got fish on. It's bouncing away like mad, and I've seen a few taps. Well, the orange one's going right now, so that's only the big rag bait rod on this close in one, well, the closest one to me, which is out of distance, that hasn't gone. Hopefully that's not in a snag or something like that. The tide's down now, and that's where we had that snag when we first got here. But we'll see you later on. Right, I'll bring you back later on and I'll get a few more fish hopefully. just rebaited all 3 rods. I've got the whole squid rod with a big rag bait on it now, and I literally just tapped it out 10-15 yards at the most. That's got a bite, and I've got a bite on the other 2 rods as well, which have all got rag on, and just gently tapped out probably 30-40 yards. So literally all 3 rods have got bites on at the moment. So if anyone fancy just coming down and catching a few fish, or want to teach their son and daughter how to catch a few fish so they don't get bored, then this is ideal sort of fishing. Just follow what I've done in this video. You should catch the same amount of fish. Maybe not as many, but you'll catch a few fish, and it should be good fun. Right, so I'm about to start reeling these in. I'll give them about 15 minutes, so there should be a few fish on there. They're all going, so could be good. Still got a bit of drizzle going on, but it seemed to have cleared up down that end now, which is Corton. For a way away, but it seemed to have cleared up a bit, so that's good. We've still got drizzle in the air, but we've had that most of the night. Nothing to worry about. It's only when it rained really heavy it's off-putting. But even when it does that, we can hide away in the old shelter and watch the rods like we are now. Right, so I'm going to start reeling in, and I'll bring you back with whatever we catch. So I just brought another rod in. It's a blue tip one, and we've got a flatfish and a white. Lovely. It's 10 o'clock now. I just reeled another rod, and I've had 3 more whiting on that rod. Top one's a bit small, the other 2 are sort of average. Not as big as them ones we were getting earlier. Cool. Still getting bites on every rod within probably 5 minutes. The fish seem to have got a bit smaller at the moment. It's not good, we want them to get bigger. Right, it's around 10 o'clock now. Still got enough bait for probably the next couple of hours. Maybe a little bit less, because I'm putting big bits of worm on most hooks now. I've got a few left, but another 2 or 3 casts or so. We'll see how we get on. Make it last out a little bit. Tide's getting down to sort of halfway down now, so long I'll walk up and down the beach, but I don't mind that. I don't think I better pump my old lamp up. It's getting a bit low. Alright, let's get these fish back. Get this cast out again. Well, it's gone 10 o'clock now. Just put all 3 rods back out. Pretty much all on rag baits, because most of the other baits are gone now. I've got a few lug left, but they're just falling apart. They're not really much good. I could probably put them on and catch some teeny whiting, but try them for a little bit bigger sorts of fish. If I go at any distance now, I seem to be getting big clumps of weed, so that's a bit of a pain, but it does come off easy enough. So I'm having to fish under 60-70 yards, something like that. If I whack it right out 100 plus, I'm just dragging loads of weed. Still getting fish. That's just a pain to reel in when you got 10 ton of weed coming in with it. Your rod bent over. Thinking you got a nice big fish on there and you can feel thumping. And just whiting. Some, medium sized whiting, which is no good. Don't mind catching them, but don't want 10 ton of weed coming in with them as well. So we're probably on our last hour and a half now. We're going to run out of bait after that, or anything worth using. So it's going to give us, 15 minutes of cast normally I do, so that's 4 more casts, 6 more casts, so we should still catch a few more fish. tide is going well down now though, so that might affect things as well, but it doesn't seem to be at the moment. Seem to be getting bites on all rods, which is great. Right, so I'm going to wait for the next rod to go, see what we get on that. I'll come back to you with whatever we bring in. Rain's decided to get a bit heavier. It's still like drizzle type rain, it's not like hammering down, but you get a bit wet when you go out and reel in now, and you have to walk down the beach to reel in as well, so you're out there longer. And then sitting here baiting up and stuff like that, but it's not a problem. I've got my waterproof on and stuff, so I'm not too worried about that. Well, I just got a message off a, I think, elderly chap who wants to take his grandkids down the beach and catch a few fish, and he asked me sort of what's the best spot, best baits and stuff like that to use to catch a few fish, and what tide should he go and things like that. So what I basically said to him is everything I've done in this video. So anyone who's wanting to do this sort of thing and take the kids or the family or whatever, you know, you're staying in the caravan or you're on holiday wherever, if you use these tactics, you're going to catch a few fish. So the whole point of my video is to help people do that sort of thing. And obviously I want to catch fish myself anyway. We can't always catch massive 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 pound fish. I mean, to be honest, I find it easier to catch much bigger fish in fresh water, to be honest, which don't make sense when you've got a massive wet sea out there. It's better to catch some big old fish, wouldn't you? We do sometimes. I can also catch 5, 10, 15 pound fish out of tiny little streams and rivers, so you just got to get out there, use the right tactics, and you'll catch some fish. So go through my videos and stuff, keep an eye on what I do, and I'll try and help as much as I can with all the different sorts of fishing that I do, and that should put you a load of fish on the bank as well too. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on these rods and hopefully get some more fish very soon. I've just brought the long distance rod in, another decent whiting and another decent whiting. Now one's took the bottom hook and one's took the pennel. So we've got them on one single hook snood. Right, let's get these two off, get them back, and we'll see what's on them two rods over there. Still getting bites anyway, so all the way through the tide's been pretty good so far. Never really had a cast without a bite. Well, I haven't. A couple of them times when I had whole squid on, we didn't have one, but that was about it. What we also brought in with that cast was 10 ton of weed. Forgot to say it in the previous bit. So I'm now about to strip all this off, rebait it and get it back out there. And that's what you get at the moment if you go at distance. Well, 1, 2, 3 more fish. Oh, it's getting a bit unfishable now, look at this one. Way, that's a lot of weed. That's a right pig to get off. And that's what I'm picking up at any distance, which is a pig. So, I'm going to drop the last couple of casts short, see what we get. Because I ain't going to keep reeling this in because that's a right pain. Okay, get these fish back, get this rod back out at a very short distance and see if we still catch. So a quick tip to get huge amounts of weed off your line like that is just under your rig, slide it all down off the line, tie it back on again. It literally took me 10 seconds. It's much easier to do like that than it is to sit there trying to pick it all off and just wasting time really when your rig can be out in the water and you could be catching a fish of a lifetime. So The quicker you get your rigs in the water, the longer they stay in the water with bait on, the more chance you've got to catch them whatever swims. Right, let's carry on, get this one rebaited up and get it back out again. So it's 11 o'clock now. Just brought in a really decent whiting again, and then an average size one and a decent one again. So two nice ones there. Don't know where these big whiting are coming from with these nice thick bodies on them. Bellies are full, but they're welcome. I like having a few of them around. Guess what else come in with it? Oh, look at this lot. Yeah, lovely. Not good, but same again as last time. Undo the knot where trace joins, slide it all off, get rid of it. Rain's decided to come down heavier than what it has been at the moment, so that's a bit of a pain. But I'm sure we can squeeze in a couple more casts. We're nearly out of worms now. Literally got a handful left. So we're probably going to be on our last couple of casts. Then we'll have to pack up. Well, it's gone 11 o'clock now. We just rebaited all 3 rods. We'll see what we're going to get. The rain's being a bit of a pig now. It's a bit heavier now. Enough to start making me wet. Which is a pain because all the gear's going to be wet when I pack down. Getting very low on worms now. Literally got, I don't know, 10, 12 good worms, so probably going to get one more cast in. Lugger pretty much gone. Got a few squid we can take back with us. And that's about it. Bit of a pain fishing out at long distance at the moment, as you saw by the weed. Oh, it's more than a pain. That's all the way up the line, and that's, feel like you're bringing in a black bag when you reel it in. Yeah, a bin bag, that's unreal. It does come in, and I've been bringing in fish with it as well, but oh, me rod I just put out was absolutely bouncing like mad. I've got 2 worm baits, the ones with the 3 hooks, small hooks on, just really close in there, probably 20-30 yards. Literally close in. We'll see if I can pick up some bits and pieces down there from the last couple of casts. And then I've got the nearest rod with a red tip here on a really big rag bait, whacked right out. That's going to pick up a load of weed, I know it is. But you got to try, ain't you? So I think we'll probably fish for another hour and we're going to be out of bait. We've had a good go. We've been here and fishing properly since about 5:30. No, probably before that, to be honest. 4:30 maybe. So we've had a good go. We've had some really big whiting. We've had plenty of fish. Somewhere between, I would say, well over 30, probably over 40 to be honest, because both the worm rods are coming in with 3 at a time. So shame we did anything on the big squid rod or big worm rod, whatever you want to call it, the big fish rod, but we have tried. And it just weren't to be. For some reason I think the codlin only seem to like big juicy lug baits. They don't seem to like a rag bait so much. Rags are right in the summer. Feel like the smooth hand, the bass and that sort of stuff. They seem to love it, but not so good for the codlin. Can pick up the whiting and pound and stuff like that on it, no problem, as you've seen tonight. But I don't ever seem to catch codlin on it. I always seem to be on whole squid or big lug baits. It's a bit quiet down here now. I'm literally down here by myself. That one down that way. That one down that way. So it's a bit strange, a bit quiet. Be strange going up there and walking through that alleyway. But I'll obviously have my lamp. I ain't too worried. I can't see many people being about on a night like this, form of rain. On a dark beach, woody sort of area. Why would you hang around somewhere like that? Anyway, back to the rods. See if we can get a few more fish before we pack up. So I just brought the single hook rod in, had a whiting, and then 10 ton of weed. As you can see, look at the state of that. Jesus. Felt like I was pulling in container ship or something like that. So I'm not going to carry on keep doing this, I don't think. If them short end rods come in like this, then I'm going to stop fishing. I think I'm going to untie the rig on this one, put it back out once more, and if it does this again, then I'm going to pack up. But if not, then we'll get a couple more casts close in. It's 11:15. I reckon we'll probably last till about 12, then we won't have any bait left. Right, let's get this fish back in the water and get this rig sorted out. Rain's been a pain, as you can probably see in the light of the lamp. It's raining properly at the moment, so I'm actually getting wet, which is a pain. And there we go. This is how we have to fish in this time of year. Okay, so on this weed this time, I'll show you how easy a load of weed like that comes off. Look at it, absolutely loads of it. It weighs a ton. All you do, wind your line, your swivel, you get your nail and pull the knot backwards. Like that, it'll come off. That's the end of the line. Watch. Get your hand. Whee! That's all off. There's the end of my line. Simple as that. Pick all the crap up, get rid of it. Wipe your hands. Get your rig again. Get your swivel. Put your line back through. Simple as that. Retie your knot. Cut your tag end off. Make sure you always pick them up and put them in the rubbish. Any line and stuff like that, mate, all your rubbish and all that stuff, make sure you get rid of all that at the end. I always have a good tidy up and throw it all away. And I hope everyone else does the same. And that's it, you're back fishing again. You get to your hooks, get some bait back on. It's pretty straightforward, don't think I need to show anyone how to put a worm on. But I'll do one just to satisfy everyone. Get the head straight in, thread it around the shank. This is obviously a massive hook, so that's pretty easy. Same on any hook. I wish that rain to go away. Just keep feeding it around. Pop it over the eye of the hook and where the knot is, and you end up with a bait like that. Which is exactly what you want. On here I've got the pennel hook, so you spin that around a couple of times, take that through the bait out the other side. You've got a hook one side, hook the other side, and a nice bait to go out. Alright, let's get it out. It's going to be one of the last casts. Probably got one more cast after this one on this rod. Probably enough to bait up both the other rods again. Maybe twice, and then we're probably done. So that rod's all sorted out, baited back up and cast out now. And I've got to bring in the other two and see what's going on. They're all very close in now, because I can't keep dealing with that weed, that's a nightmare. Easy enough to get off, but you have to reel it in as well, don't you? On a cheap rod, that'd be a right pain to reel in. You've got to be bent right round. It also gives you backache dragging stuff like that in. rod I just put out, look like it's got a bite already, so that's good. And I can see I've got a bite on the other 2 rods as well, so we'll give them a go. The blue tip rod, when I was reeling in the last fish, the little tip fell off and into the water. Went out a couple of times with the waves and then washed up the beach. I whacked my hand in the water, got wet, but got the tip back. It actually come off the top of the rod. So I'll just put that away for now because it's over on our last couple of casts, so I'll sort that out in the daylight when I can. Right, I'm now going to bring in the other rods and see what we got. It's about, it's getting on for 11:30 now. I think we'll be packed up by 12 because we're pretty much out of worm. Got enough for probably 2 more casts. So, not so long a session than what I normally do. I normally do sort of 10, 12, 14 hours, sometimes longer. But this wasn't meant to be a really, really long marathon session. This was just meant to be sort of 6 hours, 7 hours, you know, at the most sort of thing, just to use up some bait. Don't like to waste bait and throw it away. It just seems a waste of money. And sea fishing bait's not cheap when you buy the amounts I buy. So, let's have these last few casts, hope we get a few more fish. And then we'll wind up this video. We'll get everything packed up, wander across the beach and up to that dark alleyway over there, which I can't even see at the moment. Gonna have to keep the tilly going because that's the only light I've got apart from my phone. We've got to drag the trolley all the way up that really steep hill. That's going to be fun. But it's got to be done. Because the car's probably half a mile from here. Probably a 15-20 minute walk from here to the car. So it's got to be done. I'm going to be knackered by the time I get up to the top of that hill. I'm going to need a drink. I'm going to stop at a garage or something on the way back and grab a drink. Then we've got our hour 15 minute or so drive back. Not so worried about that. I'm used to driving long trips. Probably see on my other channel if you go on there. I'll pick up cars and stuff. I'm quite happily to go out and do 6-8 hour drives to pick up cars and stuff. Long drives and stuff like that, or you know, long fishing trips and things like that. Don't really bother me. It's just normal to me. Same my work hours and stuff. Quite happily do a 12-hour day if I need to do it. Just got to fit in what you can when you can, basically. You can sit there indoors watching programs all night, or you can get yourself out, get on the beach, catch a few fish. You can get the tides right. You can fish 2 hours up, 2 hours down, have a few fish and be back home. Time for a sensible time to go to bed, ready to get up the next morning. I don't really worry about that too much because it's normally 1, 2 o'clock before I go to bed most nights, and then I'll sit there and watch YouTube, watch other fishing channels and stuff like that, and things that I watch. So it's normally pretty late before I go to sleep. But with my work, I don't have to get up early in the morning if I don't want to. So it's not too bad. Right, I'm going to reel in the next rod and see what we get. Got a nice size white in there, smaller one in the middle, and then another nice size one. Nothing like the size of the ones we were getting when we first got here, but not little tiddlers either. So that's good. Right, get these back, get all this weed off. Plastic bag and all sorts on this time. And we'll have one more cast on this rod. Said, I dropped it in really close. I'm talking 15-20 yards, really close. I'm still doing the same. One really decent whiting, and then 2 average whiting. So they're there. Don't matter where you cast, really. So I really could just probably sit here all night and catch some of these, but I've got to go home. Got a nice shepherd's pie waiting for me, but that's a few hours off yet. Right, I'll put these fish back. We'll have one more cast with this rod, and then one more cast with the other 2 rods, and that'll be time to pack up, I think. It's gone 11:30. We'll probably pack up about 12. Done really well. We've had probably 50 fish. Nothing massive tonight apart from the big whiting. You don't see many whiting of that size. You have a look around the channels and that, you won't find many whiting that big. Well, I certainly ain't caught many that size for a lot of years. But recently there seem to have been some quite big ones turn up. I mean, over the last month or so, I've actually caught some really big whiting, £1.5, £1.75 jobbies each time I went out, so that's really good. Right, I'm going to get these fish back in the water, get this rod back out, and then we've got one more cast for 10 to 12. Got enough worms to probably bait up all 3 rods one more time. I've literally just cast all 3 rods no more than 20 yards out, little teeny tap, and I'm still getting bites. I reckon I could literally throw a weight out with a hook on it and probably catch. It's crazy really. It's all part of the fun. At least I'm not getting 10 ton of weed close in, so that's good. I'm pretty much out of bait, so not much I can do really. I'll spin you around and show you what I've got. Yeah, so we're pretty much out of lug. There, just had it, and we've got a little handful of rag left. No mega worms, just little worms, just enough to bait up one more time. So that's what we'll do, and then we'll start packing up. I think lamps are still going nicely. Actually surprising how long these actually last, these lamps. You fill them up, you turn them on the side and fill them up till they overflow. You can quite easily get 8-10 hours out of them. So can't really complain, it's really good. Right, I'm going to hit some of these last bites. Hopefully we're going to get some larger fish, and then I'll start winding everything down, start packing up a bit, and get ready for the walk back to the car up the funny old lane. Right, I'm going to watch these rods for a second and reel in the next bite. Okay, so that's another rod in, another decent sized whiting, and a little doggy. Yay! I've had one of them for a long time. I know a lot of people don't like them, but don't seem to get that many. They're like little sharks really, aren't they? Great little things really. Don't want to curl them around on me my body to get me skin, but look at him, a little creature. Right, let's get him back. Let's get the next rod in. Probably got one more cast. Just bought another rod in, another really good whiting. It's not like £1.75 or nothing like that, but it's over £1. And then we've got another doggy, a little bit bigger this time. Hard to show him, you get the idea. Where they curl up the old tails trying to wrap round. Yeah. Quite cute little fish really. They just feel like sandpaper. They've got smart eyes and stuff. Just haven't got very good light tonight to show you what's what, but you get the idea, I think. That's what they like underneath, the old shark, like fins and stuff, and mouth. But anyway, poor thing, let's get it back with the whiting, and we're going to have one more cast on each rod, and then we're pretty much out of bait. That's it, got a handful of worms, probably 6 worms left. So we'll make the most of them, see what we can catch. Well, it's 12:15 now. Keep seeming to be squeezing out a few more casts. but I've literally probably got 6 bits of worm left, so it's going to be last cast over this one. Well, I could probably do one more cast. Nice to get a few little doggies, shark looking creatures. They're cute little things really when they're that small. I don't seem to catch too many of them, so I don't mind getting a few of them. I've also put out a whole squid on this closest rod to me, just really close in, just in case there's something a bit bigger down there. Seem to be getting a mixture of fish, but we're just waiting for that big one. But we ain't got very long now, so might squeeze one more cast on the worm rods, leave a squid rod out, and I think we'll be done. So probably squeeze half an hour. Just gonna make it 1:45, 1ish. We'll be done. You know what I'm like, I'll squeeze as much time out as I can, as long as I've got bait. Because the longer you're out there, the more chance you got of getting that fish of a lifetime. So that's why we all go fishing, and I try and keep on the beach and bait in the water for as long as I can. Like I am now. So I'll watch these rods. I think I've got a bite on the worm rods again already. These are literally 20 yards out. I'm just tapping them. But we're getting fish every cast, so is there anything bigger there? That's just why I put a squid down there. You never know. Let's try. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on these rods. I'll update you when I reel in. And if not, we'll be packing down soon and doing the walk back to the car. Weather at the moment is calmed right down and stopped raining again. It's actually quite nice not on the beach, even when it is raining. That's only drizzly, sort of nothing to worry about rain, so not too bad. But lovely night to be down there anyway. Sea state is pretty calm, getting the odd rogue wave but nothing to worry about. Pretty much flat calm. Ideal weather really to get a ray, but don't know if we're on the right beach for that. If I was actually going after rays, I'd fancy my chances of probably somewhere like Dunwich, Shingle Street, somewhere like that if I was targeting rays. But you never know. Fish can be anywhere in the sea, close in or right out. But that weed's been a pain, so we'll fish that through. I've got a bite on one of the worm rods, so that's good. Hopefully we've got another fish on there. Yeah, there's definitely fish on there. It's banging away like mad. I don't think I've brought any of them worm rods in tonight without at least 2 fish on, and most times 3 fish on, so that's pretty good. We've had dogfish, dabs, pouting, whiting, we've had the feral, good old mixture. Shame we ain't had a bass and a cod as well. That would have made it a really good night. I still can't get over the size of them big whiting. It's like bringing in cod then. Imagine if we could get them 2, 3, 4 pounders. People would love catching them then, wouldn't they? But they never get a chance to get that big. For some reason, just don't get that big around here. But then if they're going to be sort of pound and three-quarter like that, getting close to £2, maybe they are going to start getting bigger around here. Be nice. By the way, we're on the east coast. I know you get big ones, Bristol Channel areas, Chesil Beach and stuff like that, but for around here, they're absolutely massive. It's like getting a £10 cod. Right, watch these rods, and I'll let you know what we get in a bit. Well, 12:30 and I'm on my last cast. Literally 15 yards out. 1, 2, 3 whiting. One of them's a nice decent one again. As you can see, covered in bloody sand, there's not much I can do about it. Don't know where all these big chunky whiting are coming from. That's a normal size whiting, and that's a nice chunky whiting, and that's an in-between whiting. Right, I'll get these 3 back. This rod's going out one more time, and that's it, I'm out of bait. It's 1:15. Just brought in another chunky whiting and a smaller one. Nice. Right, this rod's going out one more time. We've got enough to bait a couple of hooks up, and that's it. I'm out of worms. So that'll be the last cast on all 3 rods. So I'll do the reel in on each rod in 15 minutes, and that'll be the last cast. Time to pack up. Well, it's raining again, lovely. I've got all 3 rods out in their last cast. One's got a whole squid, the rest got worm. And I'm out of worms. That's it, they're all gone, nothing there. There we go, we had a good night. We've had a good few hours, we've had 7.5 hours. So that's not bad going. Pain out of form of rain now. I'm sitting back in the old shelter. I'm going to give this cast 15 minutes. I'm going to bring them in and it's time to pack up. We've had a really good night. Well, plenty of fish and caught a few really big whiting. Really impressive whiting, to be fair. Big chunky bodies and fairly long fish as well. So that's pretty good. A couple of doggies, make things different. Had some pouting, had some flatfish. So we've had a good mixture, which is nice. Shame we haven't had a big fish, you know, like £5 plus. But I think the only way to do that really and sort of guarantee you're going to get a few is to have like 4 or 5 rods, have them all on squid and bluey and stuff like that, and just have long, medium and short distances with your rods and just sit there and wait. That's the only way you're going to get a few bigger fish out, but you're going to sit and you can do a lot of sessions with no bites or the odd fish or whiting, just picking up a whole squid and stuff like that. You're going to catch a lot less fish, which I don't really like to do. I like to have a big fish rod out there, and I do catch some big fish, and I've lost a few big fish just in recent weeks, including a double figure ray down at Corton, as you can see in one of my other videos. Really annoying, but we'll see how things go. We'll go from there, but I'm going to give these 15 minutes. I'll reel them in, show you what I get, if I get any more fish, and then I'll be taking the walk up the alley. So it's 1 o'clock, just brought the first rod in to pack up, and there was a little dab on there, tiny little thing, but you get the idea. You see it. Right, I'm going to put this one back, pack this rod up, and then I'll reel the next one in. Okay, so I brought the next rod in. Only pouring with rain now. I absolutely whacked this one out. Just thought on the last cast I'll just see what I can get. And yep, the whiting is still out there. Quite a decent fish, eh? Not bad. See the sort of size of that. Try this one then. Another decent fish. I don't think it's quite as big as them ones we had when we first got here. It's still a big fish. Look at that. Another really good sized whiting. Well over a pound, probably £1.5. They're still there. I could probably carry on catching them all night, but I'm out of bait now. So not much I can do about it. I've got some squid left, but I can't really be bothered to start chopping that up and putting bits of squid out there. It's just hassle for me. Alright, so that leaves one rod, and that's the squid rod, which probably hasn't got anything on it, but it might have a whiting on it, you never know. I'm going to put these 2 back, pack this rod up, just brought the last rod in, the whole squid rod. Weren't expecting to get anything, and ended up with another decent whiting. Not as big as some of the others, but over a pound. Another big belly on it again. Nice. Well, we ended on a fish, all 3 rods. Brilliant. Right, I'll get that one back. I'm going to put this rod away, pack all this gear up, and then we'll head towards the alley and attempt the big climb. It's going to be fun with the trolley, but that's what we've got to do. Okay, so we're all packed down. I've tried to mount the camera onto the trolley. We've got to walk across the beach and then up the spooky lane. So let's go see what it's like. It's giving me an absolute nightmare to pull this up the hill, because that's a very steep slope, but we'll see what it's like. We've done really well, we've caught some really good fish, so let's keep going. probably 10-15 minutes back to the car, maybe 20. Let's go. Here we are. Oh Jesus, that's one hell of a hill. Even more than what I was expecting. Alright, what I'm going to try and do, put this on the handle. Like so. And let's go up the hill. Here we go. Oh, that was hard work. Took a little while, but we got it done. Well, the lamp's nearly out. I think it's just because I've shook it up a bit. Give it a good pump. Might be getting low on fuel, but I doubt it. But it could well be. I did have it on high tonight because I could only use this one, so that makes sense. Right, let's turn the car on. Hardly breathe. Right, I'm going to put all the gear in the car and I'll be back to you in a minute. Okay, so we made it back to the car. Hell of a pull up that hill, and then when you get to the top of the hill and under the bar, you then got to walk up another big steep hill all the way up the road. So that's hard work. You can hear I'm out of breath. I can hardly talk. We had a good session. Oh jeez, I had to strip right down to my t-shirt and can hardly breathe. Yeah, if you're going to go down there, it's probably better for two of you to go to pull a trolley and stuff like that, I would say. Whew, Jesus. Right, I'm going to start the car up, clear the windows and stuff, and do the hour and 15-20 minute drive home. I'll stop enough and get a nice drink on the way, I think. I'll need it. Right, let's get the car going. We've done really well, I think. Shame we didn't have a big cod or something like that just to top it all off. But we had plenty of fish and I was still catching on every single rod. When we ended, we just ran out of bait. Okay, so the time is now, I'll spin you around, we're on our way. As you can see, it's 1:49, still 10 degrees, which is lovely.